I'm remaking my video on 100% proof Jesus is God. Um, because this is the first topic that I cut and I made a video on YouTube. This is the reason why I joined. Actually, is I watched a Muslim ex-Christian guy that turned Muslim quoting Matthew 4. What I found really funny was that he quoted his argument based on those subtitles that the editors put for you on NIV. For example, so it's easier for you to find the scriptures. So on top of to say, John the Baptist makes the way, the Beatitudes, or Jesus heals the leopard, or the temptation of Jesus. So what he did is he went on to the subtitle that says the temptation of Jesus, and he completely bases his argument based on that. He didn't even, brother, I want to tell you something. That's not inspired. That's just like more of an index that they put on there for you, so you can locate the part where Jesus is in the desert, being tempted. So just want to give you a heads up. That doesn't conclude that Jesus was temptable, nor did he fail temptation. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is you might want to dig just a little deeper, not too much. On Matthew chapter 4, temptation, that the New Testament was written in Greek, and temptation is periazo, which means it's an occupation. And if you read Matthew 4:3, it rhymes well. You skip that one. I hope it's not purposely, but I encourage you to read it. It starts the tempter. You get it? It puts everything on the devil. And the devil, that's his nature, is to tempt. That's his nature, is to tempt everything that moves around. And he quoted James. He said, do not tempt your God. Why would James assume that anybody's going to tempt God, the Father? Why would he say that? Because he knows there's some people that are either driven by the devil or the devil himself is going to try to tempt God. So he's telling you it's a waste of time. And what happens to Jesus? Jesus in Matthew chapter 4 verses 7, he says to the devil, do not tempt your God. But there's a cool part for you. Repeatedly, the devil calls Jesus, if you're the Son of God. If you're the Son of God. You see? The devil even himself recognizes Jesus is the Son of God. And how that was proven is not by Jesus kind of listening to the devil and asking his Father to turn the stones into bread or so forth. No. How did he prove to him he's the Son of God? Is the temptation, just like his Father, it didn't work on him. It was useless. The end result, we know Jesus did not sin. So just between me and you now, brother, what category does Jesus fall in? Remember James said, do not tempt your God, the Father, because God cannot be tempted. Temptation is complete once it is what? It works on you and you fail. Remember what happened in the Garden of Eden? To Eve? Temptation worked because she was a human being. Even though she was perfect, but yet she was a human being, temptation worked on her. And guess what? It became complete, and she became a sinner, and she fell. But on Christ, the devil himself repeated the same scenario he did in the Garden of Eden and confronted Jesus. But this time, he asked him, if you're the Son of God. Amazing. If one does not believe Jesus is not the Son of God, I'm going to start to think that he's worse than the devil. Don't you think? Because the devil admits he's the Son of God. But if one surpasses that and says he's not the Son of God, because brother, what I'm trying to say is, look at the end result. Jesus did not fail. And you see what I'm saying? So basically, if you're going to be looking for the truth, if you're really seeking for the truth, approach it honestly. See, I approached it honestly. The reason I became a Christian is, but the truth captivated me. I became bondaged by the truth. I couldn't let go. And the Bible says, if you claim you have the truth, but you do otherwise, you deceive yourself, not anybody else. Everybody else is a bystander watching you chase your own tail. So the Bible says you deceive yourself, you lie to yourself. So please, if you're really honestly looking for the truth, just do just a tad more research, okay? Don't come to conclusion first in your head and then come out, act like it's all an act. There's a saying in Africa, a fake sleeper, you cannot wake him up. You know why you can't wake him up? Because he's acting like something he's not. Fake sleeper, you cannot wake him up. No one can wake him up. Alright? Later.